Welcome to my new governor video, so let's start. It's been a while since I've done a 2025 governor video, but in New Jersey, as you can see, there's been a bunch of debates, some minor news, but if we go to the Democrat primary, still quite hectic. There's a lot of people, but out of everyone right here, Mika Sherrill is the most likely person to be the nominee by the Democrats, I'm guessing. Katamaya has lost some momentum because of his ad being a bit weird. Some people are calling it out because it's an ad of him fighting Trump in the ring. It's something else to say, to be honest with you. But anyway, you got Sweeney, Booker, which is a Klein Baraka full up, but there's a lot of endorsement, as you can see. People are putting their money where they think they're gonna get the most bang out of the buck. You can just see here in the Democrat primary, it's very hectic, which is really bad news for the Democrats. Bear in mind that more hectic a primaries, the more damage the candidate who will become the nominee will be for the primary, and there's still a lot of undecided voters. So Sherrill, she might be leading right now, but anything can happen because look at those numbers. They're basically almost tied up. And oh yeah, money, that's a big thing you gotta look out for. She has 1.3, but Stephen Fulp, oh, that's actually surprising how much money he has. But kind of surprising. Katamaya. But yeah, and Sweeney, of course, and anyone could really win the Democratic primary. While the GOP, I am a bit surprised by the fact that, surprisingly enough, Trump hasn't endorsed Jack Ciattarelli, which should be a bit of a potential red flag that maybe Jack Ciattarelli won't get the nomination as easily as what most people thought. I know that, yeah, as you can see, Lara Trump actually went to this Padilla Super PAC event, which should be a bit worrying for Jack Ciattarelli that he doesn't have the Trump endorsement yet. So yeah, that's something to look out for, and that's a big update since last video. Polling wise, unless Trump endorses someone else, Jack will likely win the primary. Still though, Padilla probably gets second place, and it's May. The election is in November, so it's really not that long, to be honest with you. So gotta look out for that. Money wise, not surprised Jack winning this. And the polling are saying it's gonna be lean D, which I do agree with. Fortunately, no 538 since Disney canceled it, unfortunately, so it's going to be rare to get polls. I'll let y'all know if there's any polls, but we haven't gotten any major ones or potential ones. But yeah, RIP 538, unfortunately. I do agree that's probably going to be likely D. Jack will likely get a similar margin to what he got back in 2021. And if it wasn't for the fact that Trump won, I do think Jack would really have a decent shot at becoming the next governor of New Jersey. I mean, look how close that margin was in 2021, and he was underfunded back then, like I've said before. While for the betting markets, as you can see, Cautiously, the main one I use, I should probably use Predicted, but Cautiously is more used currently. And the markets, according to the betting odds, do say that Democrats will likely win this election, mostly because of the fact that I do think it's correlated to the fact that Trump's not that popular. The economy just retracted a few days ago, if you actually remember that committee post. There's still a shot that Jack Ciattarelli could win, but with the days counting, the weeks getting closer to the election and months getting closer to the election, it does look like it's not going to be as easy for him to make this competitive. Still, I do think New Jersey, because of how crowded the primary is, it's going to be closer than expected. Still, I think he's probably going to do either on the same level or a bit worse than what he did back in 2021. I'm guessing Mika Sherrill or whoever the Democratic nominee will win here by 3 to 5%. Could be likely D, but I'm going to go with a lean D margin for New Jersey. In Virginia, this is going to be a historical race because of the fact this is the first time that both party nominees are female, which will likely mean that Virginia, for its first time in its history, will elect a woman to the governorship. Bear in mind, Glenn Youngkin can't run because ineligible because of a constitutional law in Virginia, unfortunately for him. And Winsome Earl Sears, Glenn Youngkin's lieutenant governor, has won the nomination. She's trailing behind in many polls, and that's something we can get into in just a minute. While Abigail Spanberger, as you can see, also won the Democratic primary. She got lucky that no one else ran. While in the GOP, Winsome Earl Sears got even luckier because, man, the Chase and LaRock barely narrowly failed to qualify for the nomination. The Virginia GOP has had a rough couple of months because if we go to the lieutenant governor race, just briefly for a second, unfortunately for the GOP, they had a big blow because Pat Harity, who was an S-tier candidate, had to withdraw because of health reasons, and in my opinion, he was on track to easily win this race, even in the Trump midterm. And as you can see, his successor, who he got second place if I'm not mistaken, he became the nominee by default. John Reed had a big scandal not a big scandal, but Youngkin was said allegedly John Reed had a explicit post on Tumblr, and now Governor Youngkin is begging John Reed to drop out, or else maybe the GOP will lose big. And it's been a few horrible months for the GOP. And not only that, Trump's popularity, the fact that he has laid off a lot of workers in Virginia, a lot of federal workers, and the fact that Youngkin has banked that has made it really hard for Winsome Earl Sears to win. Oh yeah, can't forget about the fact that Denver Riggleman, he might run, which would be very interesting to see. I know he's, if I'm not mistaken, he's an anti-Trump. Yeah, he's an anti-Trump Republican who could actually help Earl Sears, but I don't think he might not even run at all. But I do agree that this race could go anywhere from tilt D to even safety. And as you can see, thankfully, we do have more polls, unfortunately. Abigail Spanberger, she's running away with it. As you can see, Winsome Earl Sears, she's not getting the momentum, and a lot of people in the GOP are expecting a loss this November. Well, Abigail Spanberger, she's a centrist, and she's taking advantage of the fact that Trump's not that popular with the economy, especially because of the fact that the economy has contracted. Tariffs are scaring consumers, and most importantly, the fundraising surge for the Democrats in Virginia is massive right now. Signal, any really good ones? Emerson's probably the best one here. The undecided voters right here are terrible news for Earl Sears, because a lot of these are gonna most likely break for the Democrats, because bear in mind it's a Trump midterm, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a big blue wave, because Trump might be at his worst come this November, and some polls are even showing Trump being below 40% approval rating, which I do disagree. I'm guessing he's probably like at 42 right now, Virginia. And if we go to the betting market right now, let me put that up for you. They actually think that Virginia is more likely to go to the Democrats than in New Jersey, even though Virginia has an incumbent Republican governor, which is really a statement on how bad the momentum for the Virginia GOP is at the moment. So it's looking really rough for the Virginia GOP. They keep having more bad news. And with Trump's approval ratings right now, the in-party fighting, the lack of funding, and the fact that Spanberger has better approval ratings than Winsome Earl Sears, I'm going to have to put this from a lean D margin from last video and actually put this up all the way to likely D, which is a big statement, because bear in mind, last time it was a 1.9% win for Youngkin, but this was back when Biden was at his most unpopular point because of the economy and inflation. But I wouldn't even be surprised if Democrats actually win here by a safe margin, if the blue wave is big enough because of Trump's ratings and the fact that GOP right now in Virginia is at a low point. I'm gonna say this, I think Abigail Spanberger, who's more of a centrist and is running a decent campaign and is able to coalesce Democrats, unlike Winsome Earl Sears, who's really struggling with their coalition with money and donors. I'm gonna say Spanberger will win here by 8 to 10%, so there's a shot that I actually see Democrats winning here by double digits. But yeah, it's not looking good for the GOP right now, and as you can see, Virginia votes to the left of New Jersey, interestingly enough, and the GOP holds with 26 gubernatorial seats against the Democrats 24 seats. Let me know what your map looks like. As always, feel free to leave a like, join the Discord and the channel membership, and have a good rest of your day.